For 400 years, the Israelites were slaves in Egypt, beaten, broken, and forgotten. But God heard their cries and raised a deliverer, Moses. Once a prince of Egypt, Moses fled after taking a life, only to return years later, armed not with an army, but with the power of faith. Standing before Pharaoh, he demanded, "Let my people go." Pharaoh refused, and Egypt was struck with 10 plagues. Water turned to blood, locusts filled the skies, darkness covered the land. But the final plague changed everything. That night, death swept through Egypt, taking every firstborn except those whose doors were marked with the blood of a lamb. For them, death passed over. That night became known as Passover, the night of deliverance. Broken by grief, Pharaoh finally let them go. The Israelites fled into the desert, led by a pillar of cloud by day and fire by night, God himself guiding their way. But soon Pharaoh's heart hardened again. His army pursued them to the edge of the Red Sea, trapping them between water and war. The people panicked, but Moses stood firm. He raised his staff, and the impossible happened. The sea split in two, towering walls of water opening a path through the depths. The Israelites crossed on dry ground. When Pharaoh's army followed, the waters crashed down, swallowing the might of Egypt. The slaves were now free, but freedom is not easy. In the wilderness, hunger and thirst tested their faith. They complained, doubted, and turned against the very God who saved them. Yet, God provided manna from heaven, water from rock, and quail in the desert. At Mount Sinai, God gave Moses the 10 Commandments, a covenant not of chains, but of guidance. The Israelites were no longer slaves. 2 men. They were now a people bound to God. But when Moses stayed on the mountain too long, the people faltered again. They built a golden calf, worshipping it as their God. In rage and heartbreak, Moses shattered the tablets, breaking the covenant they had just received. Still, God's mercy endured. The covenant was renewed, and his presence returned, resting in the tabernacle among his people. For 40 years, they wandered the desert, learning that deliverance was not a destination, but a journey of faith. Even Moses, who had faced Pharaoh and parted the sea, would not enter the promised land. From the mountain's edge, he saw it a land flowing with milk and honey, and knew his purpose was fulfilled. The Exodus is not just a story of escape, it's a story of faith, failure, and forgiveness. It reminds us that freedom without faith is hollow, but faith, even in the wilderness, is the path to true deliverance. Because in every age and every heart, the Exodus continues. The journey from bondage to belief, from fear to freedom.